Hey guys, Almarenton, Glaucoma Hope. So today is November 30th, 2016. So we start December tomorrow, which holiday season is in full swing, right? Here in the United States, or all over the world, I guess, too, right? So today we're gonna we'll check in like we do every day, and then we're gonna talk about the headaches, the headaches that we had previously, but the headaches that I started to have a little bit at the beginning of doing this new regimen. So I didn't talk about that before, so I want to make sure I talk about that before I forget, right, and have it documented right now. This is video 16 of 100. We're doing 100 videos in 100 days, and then day 3 of the 21-day reset, okay? So basically, you know, I sort of checked already, but the left eye is the same as it was yesterday. The right eye is pretty much the same. You know, I could see the forward vision. You know, yeah, it's the same, pretty much, right? No big deal. One thing I feel like I have something in my eye right now, which I may or may not. You know, when you have glaucoma, anything that happens to your eyes, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is that? Is that something new? So, so you know, which sucks, right? But yeah, it's just the way it is. So yeah, the vision, you know, is pretty much the same as long, you know, so that's good. You know, we can't have like miraculous stuff happen every day. That's one of the things with results and stuff like that. You know, you'll have times where there's nothing happening, and you'll have times where good stuff happens, and it'll level off, and nothing will happen, and good stuff will happen. As long as you're doing good stuff, you know, the same thing will happen with bad stuff, and that's why people get stuck in a bad situation sometimes and don't realize it, because a little bit of bad then stays the same, a little bit of bad stays the same, a little bit of bad stays the same. So you get in a fucked up situation before you know it, because you didn't realize it, because it happens so gradually. But the other way around it could happen too, right? So that's why I'm documenting this, because it does happen in those gradual progressions, and you sort of don't notice it happening even when you are getting better, you know? So I want to know if I'm getting better or getting worse, right? So if I'm getting worse, then I need to stop what I'm doing and change it around, you know, and find something that does work. What I'm doing right now is working, so we'll keep on doing it, right? So, and just, you know, be adding to it and all this kind of stuff. So let's talk about the headaches. So previously, I sort of spoke about how the headaches that I had, you know, that I would get because of the glaucoma, and, you know, sort of has to do with my powerlifting too, probably, but I would get these crazy headaches, and I was starting to have them like 6 days a week, 7 days a week, pretty much, like almost every day, right? And that's what led me to go on the search to discover what I found 2.5 years ago, right? And as soon as I started my regimen back then, the headaches disappeared, like overnight, like literally overnight, as soon as I started taking my oils, right? And that was crazy, because I had had them for so long, like decades, right? So, so that was a big deal. And I was able to sleep really well, all this kind of stuff, and which I wasn't able to do before. Fast forward 2.5 years later, I was starting to get a little bit of headaches again, and my sleep was getting a little bit disrupted again. And that was because I was on a super low-level maintenance dose, and it's, you know, it was only able to help for so much, and then, you know, it was like at the breaking point, sort of. But I had to do it that way because of the availability of the stuff I had. I had to, like portion it out, literally. Like day by day, like, okay, I have this much, and I need to get, you know, make sure I get, you know, so it was a really sort of stressful kind of a thing, you know, trying to find that stuff. Like we said, now I have the abundance, and we could do this, and blah, blah, blah. So those headaches, you know, were whatever, you know, and they are mitigated by the oils and stuff like that. Even if I would get them here and there, I was only getting headaches like maybe 4 times a month, and as opposed to 6 or 7 days a week, you know. So that's really a big deal, right? So it got to the point where if I didn't get a headache, I would notice before, because I was like, wow, I didn't get a headache. But nowadays, it's like if I get a headache, it's like, wow, I got a headache. I can't believe I got a headache. So that role totally reversed, which is a really big deal in and of itself, aside from the vision. But when I started the new regimen and I went from like that low-level maintenance dose to a higher-level maintenance dose, I started to get a little bit of headaches, but I wasn't getting the crazy headaches, but I was getting this uneasy kind of feeling, and it was a couple of times I had to take Excedrin, but then like the other times it didn't really help, because the thing about those headaches is Excedrin oftentimes wouldn't even help the headaches, right? And the same thing with this, but it never got bad. It was just uneasy a little bit, and it happened almost a few days in a row, and I was like, wow, what's going on? But, I changed the regimen, so my body has to change along with that, and then catch up to whatever, and then normalize. So I just went with it, thinking, okay, some adjustments happening, and, sometimes there's pain involved with that, because there is. And now there's no headaches, really, and it's been probably over a week, without a headache, and because it hasn't been that long that we're on this regimen. So, but that's a pretty good thing right there, right? So on today's Wednesday, I think it was on Monday, I was with my girlfriend and her mother, and I was like at this table, and I was going like this, right? And she was like, "Hey, do you have a headache?" And because like a lot of times I would be doing that just to like try to soothe my head because I had a fucking bad headache, right? But it was like I looked up and it was like, no, I don't have a headache. That's actually I was just trying to rub my head, But so I didn't have a headache, and I still haven't had a headache since then. It's only been 2 days, but yeah, and like I would say for about a week or maybe a little more, I have not had a headache, which is a very, very big deal, right? So good changes are happening, inside, and another thing too is I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it here now in case you don't see that video, right? There is there was days throughout the year where I would get put down because I was either working too hard or looking at screens too long or whatever, and my body would just shut down and get major pain from here up and through here and down through here, right? Like this crazy, crazy pain, like ice packs, everything, like nothing would help, right? And I'm not having that right now, right? That would happen just probably about 6 times a year. That would happen, right? And if I work like I'm launching a business right now, so it would start to happen a little bit more, but so it would be about 8 or 10 times a year it would happen, right? And but it sucks really bad when it happens. But I had one happen the other day, like about 2 weeks ago, and there was like literally it was like nothing. It was just like almost like that uneasy feeling that I got, but it just lasted throughout the day, and it was really cool, right? So so that only time will tell. We'll see, towards the end of these 100 days if I get any of those really painful experiences. That's why I'm doing the 100 days, because there's certain things. So there's the vision that that we want to monitor every day, but there's certain things physically that happen to me that are related to the eyes that that only happen, like that one thing 6 times a year, so like every other month, things like that you want to have enough time in this case study, because that's what this is, the 100 days, to actually monitor and say, okay, this happened, this didn't happen, whatever, these things would usually happen, but they didn't happen during the protocol because, which is good, or this stuff was good, but it got fucked up during the protocol, whatever happens, we'll deal with it and just move forward. But yeah, so that's why we're doing the 100 days as opposed to like 10 days or something. This is a real case study. And like I said, in about 15 days or so, we're going to try to get some more people to come in and do the case study with me. All right, so or maybe it's actually December right now, so I'll probably get them at the first of the year to do the case study with me, and monitor them throughout with that as well. So, but that's basically it. Like the headache thing is minimized. I did get some extra little uneasy, almost headachy kind of thing when I went on the higher level maintenance dose, but it was just, I think it was just my body readjusting itself because of the new beneficial stuff that's inside of it. It's getting more of it, so it has more ammunition or more constructive tools to build your body, to build better eyes and better stuff, better joints and better muscles and all that kind of stuff, right? So so yeah, that's all good stuff. So we'll cut it short here. It's about, well, it's not that short. It's 11 minutes, and so we'll see you tomorrow on December 1st. Again, Al Morenton, Glaucoma Hope. Peace.